following Purvan.
Sir Suul! Sir Suul! Purvan!
Champion.
He turns to look at you when you say champion.
And I meet him. I'm not running. I'm not trying to make it seem like
I'm running.
Yes. But I'm stepping towards him with a sense of authority.
Yeah, Galdrick, you see the wolf. The wolf steps around and goes. The wolf growls a little bit. He turns around and says, turns around and says, "May I help you?"
Well, I've come to ask that of you.
Please don't leave in a huff. Some of our allies back there, and I don't even want to say allies, some of the other guests were rude to you and
arrogant.
We just came to apologize.
Go ahead, Loquacious. Give me a persuasion check, and with Xerxes at your side, go ahead and give me it with advantage.
Oh my god. Well, maybe. With advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. 29. First one was only a 20.
Purvan turns to look at you and says, "I fear you make your home in a nest of vipers, gentlemen. I cannot speak highly of my experience thus far in the City of Crowns."
Well, you're mistaken at least on one count. This is not my home. We are approaching it. And I'm ready to have a very different kind of conversation with you, if you are willing.
Speak your mind, First Knight.
What brings you here? You seem to have come with some urgency and some concern.
Very recently, I have come into the awareness that my mistress feels a concern. Something is moving upon the face of Exandria. Something that for the moment eludes even her sight. Her counsel brought me to Vasselheim, but my search was drawn short when I arrived at the sanctum of Vespin Chloris.
Did you meet him?
No. He had gone missing by the time I arrived.
But you arrived at the site where he attempted this rite?
Here you see Purvan looks surprised. You just said something Purvan did not know.
Oops. I will cast Gift of Gab.
Spell!
What does that do?
I take it back.
Yep. It's a
No shit.
Rewind.
Yes, yep. Yes, yep.
You see, he. So in other words, that is like a vision that you have of the future that is quickly drawn back, and you see he goes, "Wow. I cannot long remain in this place. My heart belongs back in Isilra. There are still answers waiting for me in Vasselheim. I came here to attempt to find reason amongst the mages of this place. There is precious little to find here."
You may be incorrect about that. The mages can be helpful, but only if you know the way in which to approach them. We can help in that matter. If you give us some information, we can pass along to them. Be a conduit for your matron.
I came to Vasselheim in search of answers, and I believe some answers may have come aboard your city back during its stay there. The auguries which I used brought me here, but with little detail in the way of what I sought, so I came to ask the aid of mages. What I can tell you in this moment. Here he stops to consider what he honestly feels like sharing in a city that he has some reason to distrust. He says, "It is the belief of my mistress that something very reckless may have been attempted. Many have sought to recreate the miracle of my mistress's ascension. Foolishly, and it has ended poorly for them all, or at least for those powerful enough to begin what they could not finish. It is my belief, based on the counsel of my goddess, the Archmage Chloris attempted something wholly different. Not a recreation, but something new. Something much riskier and more foolhardy.
Riskier than an ascension to godhood?
The god of death that ruled over that domain, whose name my mistress sundered and removed from the fabric of reality itself. What complaint could he offer for his own demise that would not be hypocrisy? God of death, dying can hardly be said to be an aberration. It is my mistress's belief that Vespin did not orient his attentions in the direction of any of her or the counsel she keeps. By which I mean to say that she has already conferred with each and every one of the prime deities. None of them felt an attempt on their domains or any of their power, and yet a ripple was felt.
Aiming for a different sort of a god.
We can imagine no other directions. If divinity was sought, and none of my mistress's counsel could offer insight, I need not tell you there are precious few options left. I will tell you this, friend. Hopefully, I have not given this wisdom foolishly. You understand the implications of what I now tell you. If we are correct in what Vespin's focus was, then it is deeply troubling. The lack of sight into what may occur. Even more so.
Forgive me, champion. I must implore you to speak plainly. And not in riddles. What do you think happened? And tell it clearly, please, so that I too may be clear on it.
Every mortal mage who has attempted to recreate the Raven Queen's ascension has attempted to do as she did.
Right.
Ascend
Yes.
to a prime deity, strike them from their throne and take their place, erasing their name. Vespin is a better mage than any other who has attempted, and we know that he did not commit that same folly. We do not know for certain what happened, but having removed what we know did not leaves us afraid.
Okay. And just so we're clear here, you wouldn't be comfortable with like a one-on-one sit-down interview or like just an exclusive. I could get some really great illustrations made
Good
of
luck
you.
with your pit of vipers.